Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Danny. If we haven't met, it's great to have you here. On this YouTube channel, I talk about, among other things, how my family of 6 lives in a 650 square foot cottage. So our home is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom with kind of a common area for the kitchen, living room, dining, and we have a detached building that's sort of like an extra bedroom space that's not actually part of our structure, but it's detached off the side, and that's about another 100 square feet. But I've talked about some different things on this channel, how we organize my kids' shoes, how we do our kids' clothing system to just like show how a real family functions in a relatively small space. I know 650 square feet, it kind of depends on where you're at in the world and whether that's big or not. But today I want to talk about toys. So we have 4 children. Apologies for the lawnmower that's going in the backyard. My husband's mowing. We have 4 children. Their ages are 7, 5. We're about a month out from our oldest son turning 3. And then we have a just turned 1-year-old. And so we do have toys. We are minimal-ish, but we definitely have toys in our home. And so I just want to show you like how we store them, what toys we have, what we prioritize, and explain a little bit about why we have what we have. So I'm going to take you on a tour. Most of the toys are in the kids' room, although there are some that are stored out in the living room. So I'll show those to you as well. But right now we are in the kids' room, and I'm just going to take you on a tour of what's here in the kids' room. So I'm going to turn, this is what the kids' room looks like a lot of the time these days. So my daughters love to build things with Magna-Tiles and then play with their dolls with them. So that's what you're looking at right here, and I'll come back around to that. But I want to point out right here, we have this shelf back here, and that is where the bulk of our toys are actually stored, along with a few larger basket items that are here on this side of the room. So I'm gonna just pause this, turn you around, and I'll go show you what is inside that bookshelf with all of those toy baskets. Okay, so the lighting's a little funky here because this is the darkest part of the house, but we're gonna do our best. So here on the top shelf, this is my second daughter's treasure box. So I don't even know exactly what's in there. Just some kind of random like plastic tops, her crocheting, just the things that she likes to keep safe from her younger brothers. That's what gets stored in the treasure box. So that's kind of on her. My sort of rule is that there's a size limitation. If it gets larger than what is in the treasure box, like what the box can store, then she needs to go through and get rid of some stuff. But until then, she can store whatever she wants to in there. These are felt balls. This is probably like a third, maybe a quarter of the total amount that we started with. If you have never seen these things, we had a good friend who's really into kind of simple Montessori type toys, sent them to us probably 5 or 6 years ago now, and they have been the most unexpected hit in our house. Now, my little ones do pop them inside their cheeks. It freaked me out for a while. I'd like put them away, but then I realized that they're too airy and kind of fluffy for them to actually be, from my perspective, a choking hazard. You may have a different opinion on that. I understand that. We don't let the kids play with them unless they're monitored. They don't usually play with them until after they're about a year old, but they love them. It's the funniest thing. One of the things they love to do with them is to play with them in combination with things like this dump truck. So they fill it up with little felt balls and drive it around the house. So it's a very unexpected thing. We've lost a ton of them. I probably won't replace them at this point just because I don't know that it'd be worth it, but they have been an unexpected, surprising hit. So, excuse me, in this box, this is like our most random stuff box. So we have like an Etch-a-Sketch thing, I've got this little like wooden camera that a good friend gave to my kids when I photographed her wedding. And then we have this like collection of, these are all like these stacking, they all kind of stack together. These are not all that popular with my kids. I think they're super cool, but they haven't really taken off with the kids. So I don't know if I will keep them. We've had them for probably a year or so. I can't quite remember when we got them. I keep expecting them to become a hit, but they haven't quite gotten there. And so when things have stuck around that long, that's actually much longer than I usually keep things around to wait for them to become a hit. I just think they're such a cool educational toy that I haven't quite gotten rid of them yet. But yeah, these like stacking animals that you can stack up, they're kind of cool. In here we have the assortment of little dolls and figures. There's a whole bunch more on the floor right now. And so this is quite a bit more full when it is actually, when things are tidied up. But my girls right now are really into playing with like dolls or figurines or things like that. So that's a really popular toy right now. This is my son's basket of vehicles. So he is obsessed with vehicles. His most popular things are probably the Hot Wheel or like Matchbox cars. He loves these. He sleeps with them, guys. Like he doesn't have like a stuffy that he sleeps with. He sleeps with his cars and they have like personalities. It's the cutest thing. So, and they all have like different names and identifying features. It's really funny. So he loves his cars. These are like, what are they called? Inertia. Like inertia, pretty sturdy inertia toys. So when you run them, they just keep running. All my kids still love them. And my 1-year-old is really starting to get into them. So we like roll them across the floor with him. Just kind of your classic dump truck. What is this? Like a digger sort of a thing. We have a shape sorter dump truck back here. This is just generally kind of the vehicle things with tires, carbon, and it gets utilized quite a lot. That's a really popular one. This down here is just a basket of like animal figurines. So we've got horses, cows. It used to be like this whole farm animal thing. I've gotten rid of the fence things because they didn't ever really stand up that great. They'd flop over. So we've gotten rid of those, and I've gotten rid of like the tree things because they were constantly getting stepped on and things getting broken off of them. So this is like the remnants of what's left of the farm animals, but it is again quite popular with the girls to incorporate into their imaginative play. And what I'm seeing more and more with my 7-year-old and my 5-year-old is they're bringing elements of different things together. So they're bringing the Magna-Tiles, they're bringing the Duplo, they're bringing the dolls, they're bringing the farm animals, and all of it's creating these imaginary worlds, which is just so sweet and so fun to watch. So that gets played with a lot like that. And then in this, we just have these awesome like Montessori type scarves, Montessori, Waldorf. I can't remember how they were advertised on Amazon. I got them on Amazon. There's like a whole bunch of them. I got them at the same time as I got these like giant clothes peg things, and they have been an incredibly popular option here in our house because our kids love to, man, they do all sorts of things with them. They dress up in them. They like use the clothespins and create like clothes and dresses with them. They hang them from their bunk beds and create curtains. They put them up between like chairs and create like tents and things underneath of that. They just play with them a lot. So those are really popular. They even take them outside and like swing them around and just like dance and do like dancey flowy things. So that's a really just fun, inventive thing that they play with. Down here on the bottom, we just have this tray. This is just helpful for the kids to be able to haul stuff around. So they move it from room to room. Sometimes, they'll have like set up some Magna-Tiles and they can kind of gently pick it up and put it in there, or they raid my cookie sheets, which is what they are doing here. So on the other side of the room over here, I'm going to show you sorry, I should have just paused this, but I will turn this around. And we have these 3 big baskets down here. This one is usually full of Magna-Tiles. It is in, there's various Magna-Tile creations happening right now, so some of them are here in our living room. This one is usually full of Duplo, so most of the Duplo is here because that's about how full it is. And then over here we just have dress up. So the kids' dresses, crowns, like cardboard crowns, butterfly things. Over there in the back, we have the baby gate, which we put up in the kids' room when we need to keep the baby out of here. So this is a super common, like I said, a really common setup these days, where this is just some sort of imaginary thing. Now, these are baby washcloths. We cloth diaper our babies, and so this is what we use as reusable wipes, and my kids use them all the time for their dolls. It's the funniest thing. They're just washcloths, but they use them to make sweatshirts for their dolls, or blankets for their dolls, or beds for their dolls. So sometimes the most random things become like the magic thing that makes everything else pull together. And they're like, I'm like, do you really need to use all of the washcloths? And they're like, but Mom, we can't have an imaginary world with our dolls living in a castle if they don't have beds and they don't have blankets and they don't have gowns. And I'm like, you know what? Fair point. That makes total sense to me. So they raid the washcloths. I have to come, pull one out of their play when I need to use it to wipe the baby's bum. But that works, we're fine. I probably need to just pick up some more because honestly, some of these are super threadbare, so they could just become the kids' toys. And then they utilize my cookie sheets to to haul things around or to set things up. So yeah, that is basically our toys. We also have books. We have not a huge collection of books. I have like my favorites, but we utilize the library a lot. So we go to the library and get like the maximum amount that we can check out, bring it home, and I will show you how we store our books. I'm gonna pause the video again so you don't have to see me walking around, but I'll show you how I store the books and where I store them at, and then I'll show you the last little bit of toys, which is out in the living room. Okay, so here in the kids' bedroom, I'm over here by where my son sleeps. He sleeps on a cot, like a crib mattress on the floor, a cot mattress on the floor. I got a lot of flack about this on Instagram, but he loves it because he can drag it outside with him. He can drag it around the room. He can tip it up and make a fort out of it. He can lay on it and run his cars on the floor and drag it over to where the rug is and use the rug pattern to run his cars around on the rug. He's not bothered by it. He loves it, and it's super safe for him to sleep on it because if he rolls off, it's like right on the floor. So we're going to stick with that for now. We are working on figuring out how to put like a third bunk up in here and DIYing it and trying to just see if it's like worth it. And if we need to measure again, make sure everything will fit. But we're not going to be in this house for probably only here for like another year. So it's sort of like, do we want to put in a whole bunch of work to like DIY something, or is he okay on the cot mattress on the floor for another year? We do know about mold. I pick it up during the day, and that's probably why he drags it around everywhere, because we pick it up and lift it up off the floor, especially before his nap time. So anyhow, side note there, this is one of our collection of books. So we have a whole bunch of like Berenstain Bear books, the Jesus Storybook Bible, which my kiddos love to look through. We usually alternate looking at the Jesus Storybook Bible and the Promises of God Storybook Bible every day. So right now we're reading through the Promises of God Storybook Bible. So the Jesus Storybook Bible is in here where Laz gets to sit and look at it. And then we've got just like some Finding Goby, some more Berenstain Bears. We have a lot of Berenstain Bears because there's not a ton of Berenstain Bears in our collection at the local library. There's some, but not a ton. And so we keep, I've collected them over the years and we just keep them here in our house. So not the library ones. These are ones that I've purchased off of Amazon, or when I'm in America, I get them used and then bring them home. So that's kind of one library, one book collection. And this is kind of the one that my 3-year-old loves to sit on his bed during quiet rest time and look through books, or at nighttime when everybody's winding down, he likes to look through books. A few more things over here. So this is my 7-year-old's kind of treasure box area. I don't really know why my 5-year-old ended up with just one box and hers is sort of accumulating. We need to probably talk and make sure that everybody feels like that's fair. I think it's because in our old bedroom, my 7-year-old had a shelf up near her bed, and so she could stash a lot of stuff up on the shelf, versus the 5-year-old had like a little, she had the bookshelf next to her bed, but everybody could kind of get into it, like the younger brothers could kind of get into it. So anyhow, we need to probably downsize that. But we have a whole bunch more books up here. A random balloon. I am not a fan of balloons. They stress me out. I don't like get overstimulated by them. So that's where the kids throw them or tuck them, or if they get stuck up there, then they just stay up there. But yeah, we have a lot more books here. And then we also have board games. Not all of them that our kids play, but they're in here as just really where we store stuff, because we just don't. When you have a small house, you get creative with where you're storing things. Okay, I'm out in the common area. The kids are here, so it might be a little bit noisy, but this is where our second collection of books are, and I keep our photo albums, like our family photo albums, here in this collection of books because my children love to look through our family photo albums. So they flip through them like they're picture books. So this is where the other collection of books is. This is the most popular toys right now with my 1-year-old, and they are food storage containers and lids, and he is obsessed with them. He loves to pull all of the containers out. He loves to try to climb inside the basket, this basket, or this one. This is just an empty tub up here. He climbs inside of it. He takes his little toys from, I'll show you where his little tray is. He hauls them over one by one, puts them inside of the food storage containers. He nests them together. He tries to find the lid that goes with the correct storage container. He just is obsessed with them. And it's the funniest thing because they're not even really a toy, but they're just what he is loving to play with right now. So, and you know what? I just go with it. He dumps them out. We clean them up probably 20 times a day, but it's not that hard. It's just a bin. I can, he can help me even throw stuff back into the bin, and we just make it work, and he loves it. And here I am next to our couch. And so we keep the baby's toys, the really young kid specific toys, just in this tray, and it slides underneath of our couch. That makes it really accessible to the baby. These are toys by and large that we have had through all of our kids. So this we got 7 years ago. This one we got 7 years ago. The stacking rings we got 7 years ago. These are more recent. They haven't been around as long. This was 7 years ago. It's just sort of this random collection of like little kids' toys that he sometimes plays with, but honestly, the food storage containers are more popular right now. So we have them, he enjoys them, he likes to haul them over and put them inside the food storage containers, but he doesn't necessarily keep them and play with them for long amounts of time on his own, but that's okay. And over here next to our wood stove, we have this crate right here that's just tucked in there. And that is where we keep our library books. So every time we go to the library, honestly, I just take the crate out to the car and then we unload everything at the library. And then as we get new library books, I load them up. And then the last thing is down here, we have on this little cube shelf, we have all of our little baby friendly books. So most of these are getting pretty worn because we've had them through all of our kids. But we love like these little, they're called like Little Red Barn, Little Blue Boat, Little Green Frog. They're like lift and flap things. They're board books. They're super sturdy. That being said, we have had to tape them together several times, so they have been a bit worn. But yeah, they really enjoy them. All of our kids have enjoyed them. I really like these. They're the Indestructibles. So they're like a coated paper. You like cannot rip them, cannot shred them. The kids can chew on them and they're indestructible. So those are really handy. And then my mom got us a subscription to Babybug, which is the coolest. It comes like every 6 to 8 weeks, I think. We had it with our first, and then I think she renewed the subscription with our second. We haven't had it for our third or our fourth because I was like, Mom, we've probably got enough of these. We don't need any more because we've just held on to them. They're definitely showing wear. They've definitely been well loved and well used, but they're really sweet little, they've usually got like little stories and poems and like action things you can do with your kids. So it's, if you're looking for a baby shower gift, that one is one of, like, my mom gives it to everybody. She goes to like a baby shower. She subscribes to the Baby Bug subscription for them, and it's because she was an elementary school teacher, and so she loves to encourage like reading to your children, and it's a really sweet way to do it. So anyhow, that is our toy situation here in our 650 square foot house. So I think if there's anything I would encourage you as you're thinking about if you're curating your own household's toys, or thinking about, you know, what toys to keep or what toys to get rid of. If you notice, we don't have anything that is electronic or battery operated, because in a small space that becomes really overstimulating in a hurry for all of us. We have very few things that are particularly age specific. We have like the Magna-Tiles. My 1-year-old plays with them. My almost 3-year-old plays with them. My 5-year-old plays with them. My 7-year-old plays with them. And when we have friends come over for dinner, the adults play with them. Like, we all end up sitting on the floor building things out of the Magna-Tiles. So those have been such like an ageless, spans all ages kind of a toy. The Duplo are not, I don't feel like they're quite as ageless, but the kids really, they're a little bit sturdier. My almost 3-year-old gets quite frustrated when the Magna-Tiles fall apart on him. Can you just be quiet, buddy? You can come in, but I'm just talking, so can you be quiet?
Yeah.
Thank you. And so the Duplo are a little bit safer of something for him to play with, because they don't get quite so frustrating. But having things like the dolls, the washcloths, the Duplo, the Magna-Tile, the animal figurines, even like the scarves, having all of that that's very open-ended and imaginative kind of play, that's my favorite kind of toys, and hands down the things that I would highly recommend to anybody to get. Don't get the exercise saucers. Don't get the electronic, you know, push the buttons and things pop up and sing and lights flash and that sort of stuff. Get the things that require your kids to use their imagination while they interact and play with it, and it will continue to be a toy that evolves with them over the years, as opposed to being something that's just a relatively short-term thing that then you're getting rid of. And by and large, just avoid like super cheap, flimsy plastic stuff, because when you've got a bunch of kids, it's gonna break. So that's my take on toys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I hope this has been encouraging or inspiration. Drop me a comment below if you liked something in particular, or if you have any questions, and I would love to connect with you via that format. So thanks, have a great day.